We are live. It says we're live. Let's see if anyone is out there to find me from the old link to the new link. Unbelievable. Alrighty, I'm going to shut this down here, clear this off, go back in, and we'll just wait for folks to see if they can find me on my channel. There's a viewer. I have a viewer. And we're going live, take two right here. 4 viewers, they're coming. Here they come. They're coming in. There's 5. Robert, I'm live. There you are, Blaine. Paul Lucas, much better. And Jordan back again. Shira Madden, I'm here. Hi, Shira. Shira Madden, how are you, Shira? Are you new to my channel? I hope you are. If you're not, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. 8 viewers. They're coming in. Let me double check and see if I can, quote, find my own show on my own channel. If you're there, say hi, folks. Hopefully we're all coming in here nice and quick. Hope you got a nice strong signal. Hope it's clear. No lag, no choppiness. We'll see what's happening. It's so frustrating, folks. You have no idea how frustrating it is for this guy, but there's only so much I can do. I'm just working with what I've got. Here we go. 12 watching, it says now. Fantabulous. Here it comes. I see more names. Here we go. There, the gang is all piling in here. Nurse Nancy is here. Hi, Nurse Nancy. Steamers, expensive lobster roll. Peter Heckema. Hi, Bruce. Better now. D&G Explorers. Good afternoon. In standby mode, waiting in the lobby for a haircut. Hi, guys. Lisa Moore. Hello, all. Hi, Lisa. Welcome back to the show. 20 are watching now. It looks like everyone is getting a clear, I hope, strong, clear symbol or single. Sorry for the for this technical snafu, but what can I tell you? I can't predict whether it's going to work or not. I just I go through all the motions I go through at home, and sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. That's all I can tell you. But I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. And looks like you folks are finding me. You're coming on over. And thank you for joining me. Okay, I'm back on my regular mode here. Let's see here, Lisa. Hi, Blaine. They're all coming in like the Calgary Stampede. That's right. Every year they come back. Debbie Manuel back again. Hi, Debbie and Jordan. Hey, D&G Explorers. Right on, you guys. Welcome back to my broadcast here at Traveling with Bruce. It's August the 1st, 2018. Holy macaroni. Huh? Jen just informed me of something. I'm gonna preface this by saying I think she forgot to, because the chortle gave it away. She's chortling over there. Today's our anniversary, and I've forgotten about it. She just reminded me that it's our anniversary, and she forgot about it too. It's a stormy love affair, ladies and gentlemen. Torrid. We just can't keep up with the dates, and so every day's a holiday. It's our anniversary today. We shacked up in '76. Oh my goodness gracious! I had just a little more hair at that time and a little less skin. Yes, 1976. We moved in together. Oh my goodness gracious. A girl from Calgary and a boy from Ontario. And were our parents wondering what the hell was going on with these two. And we're still cooking. Oh my gosh. How many years is this now? 24 plus 18, 42. 42 years. Oh, I wish I were 42. Well, how about that? Unbelievable. Let's see who else is here and say hi to everybody. Oh, they're all coming in. This is fantastic. Nina Frank is here from Sweden. Hi, Nina. Can see you clear now. D&G, the Steaming Bean. Looking forward to the Lobster Roll vlog. Brittany Lockwood. Hi, Bruce. Hi, Brittany. D&G is saying hi. And Tom Henry, maybe we should only start at 5:07. That seems to be the time it kicks in every day. Nurse Nancy, happy 1st of August, everyone. Steamer D&G, it is uploaded. Nurse Nancy, ooh, happy anniversary. Shira Madden, happy anniversary. Blaine, happy anniversary. How many? 42. And Jordan, hey, Debbie, Nurse Nancy. Peter, Paul, Lisa, Peter, Paul, a Mary, and we get a Peter, Paul, and Mary. Nurse Nancy, that means you've been married a long time and you are secure. Yeah, I guess that's what that means. It's suppose, or just we're just too lazy to change it up. Yes. What can I say? Desi Wagner, hello, Bruce, and all recovering from hip surgery. Happy anniversary. Way to go, Desi. Hope that is a good and clear, easygoing recovery for you. I'm glad to hear. I hope it's making life better for you. This is good stuff. Welcome to everybody in Chicago. Desi is from Chicago, and I love that town. Happy anniversary from Sylvia. Thank you, Sylvia. Brittany Lockwood, I may be in and out and back, and I am waiting on a phone call. Brittany, it's all good. When you've got the time to spare, you've got the time to spare. When you got to do something, you got to do something. It's all good. I'm the guy who has to be here. I'm the one talking, and you come and go as all you want, and I say hi to you. I'm sure everyone here wishes you well. She is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I know it's hot and humid. And welcome, Brittany, to the show. Tom Henry, hi, Debbie. G&G Explorer, saw it come through my announcements. I'll watch when home. This is the Steamer. Steamer did a couple of videos today, folks. One on In-N-Out Burger, which I definitely caught and enjoyed. And he's got another one out there right now. I think 2 others at least. And Jordan, happy anniversary. Congrats, Bruce. Thanks, you guys. Brittany Lockwood, happy anniversary. Debbie Manuel, happy anniversary. And Jordan, hey, Desi, hope you're feeling better. Excuse me, Tom Henry. Sigh. Oh, 42 was a good age. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? At the time, felt old. You kind of like, oh, gosh, I'm 42. My life's over. Then 20 years later, you're 62, and you're going, oh, wait a minute. 42 wasn't so bad after all. Because it was only 20 years since I was in my 22s. Now it's 40 years since I was 22. Oh, man. Yeah, it's getting scary. D&G, congrats, Bruce. Happy anniversary. Thanks, you guys. Paul Wilgus, me too. 42 again would be great. Yeah. Desi Wagner, wow, 42 years. That's a lifetime in marriage terms. That's 4 or 5 lifetimes for a lot of friends I know. Desi, thanks. And Maurice, happy anniversary, Bruce. Thanks, Maurice. Maurice saying, do you have any plans? Do we have any plans, dear? Since we just reminded each other here. Oh, yeah, we got plans. Oh, we up the wazoo. We got plans, tons of plans. Yeah, we got plans. As a matter of fact, yeah, after the show, I get to go to the tire dealer. That's going to lighten up my night. I get to go to the tire store because my 2 front tires are very, very low on the tread. And we're getting some things resolved later today. So, yeah, that's our plan for today. Heading for the tire shop to get the tires looked after. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, happy anniversary, Bruce. Blaine, it's cheaper to be married than change now. Oh, yeah, I would say. Blaine, Brittany, I wish I was in my 20s again. Brittany, you're talking for all of us. Wendy, hello again, folks. Hi, Wendy. Debbie Manuel, hope you are back up and running again quickly. I think that's for Desi. And hi, Thomas from Debbie. Wendy Thompson, happy anniversary. Thank you. Brittany Lockwood, it's just in the upper 80s today. Oh, that's not bad, Brittany. That's good weather for you down there in Baton Rouge. And Jordan, the lobster roll and the burger. Steamer, Yummo, have fun in Vegas. Steamer seems to be having a good time, but it's hot down there. Valen Martinez is here from Argentina. How you doing there, buddy? Steamer, Elvis died at 42. That's right. Elvis did die 1977 at age 42. I remember when I heard about it, I had just come out of work. Was in downtown Calgary. Just came out on the walk. I was going to walk home. I live downtown. I work downtown, and I just got out of the building I was in, and I heard someone's radio on their car. They were stopped for a red light, and their windows were open. It was a warm day, and headline and news for, I guess it would have been 5 o'clock. That's probably when I was done work. And 5 o'clock news, Elvis Presley is dead. And I heard that headline on the radio, and the people in the car, their jaws dropped, and my jaw dropped. And holy moly, Elvis is dead. He has left the building for good. Unbelievable. I remember that. Peter Heckema, happy anniversary to you and Jen. I am working on 46 years married to the same woman. Can't believe it. Time goes so fast. Peter, I know the feeling. It's incredible. Debbie Manuel is laughing out loud with Beaner. Tom Henry, what is Jen's favorite restaurant? Costco tires are the best. Yeah, it's funny here. I've purchased tires before from Costco in over the years. But this particular set I purchased from a chain up here in Canada called Fountain Tire. Pretty good guys. They happen to have a location in a shopping mall where I used to have a store. And it was easy for me to get them to work on my car whenever I needed work done. Even they do brakes and other stuff. And I would just drop the car off in the morning, open my store up, and then during the day they'd call up and say, car's ready whenever you want to come and get it. And since I was in the store from 10 in the morning till 9 at night with mall hours, I would just get one of my staff members would come in for their shift. I'd pop over to get the car. So convenient. Unfortunately, we were not in a shopping mall with a Costco because there are no shopping malls with Costco's, not indoor malls anyway. But went back today to see these guys. I got these tires 4 years ago, saw them today, and they're going to give me a rotation today as a temporary fix, and then we'll get a new set of tires in about a month and a half, because I drive winter tires all year round. The summer here is so short, and I live in the mountains in Creston. You need winter tires. So they said to me, why don't we we'll put the fronts on the back, the back's on the front. You're good for another 5, 6, 7 weeks. And then when the winter tires come in, because that's when they'll come in, there's a sale every year. You can get a new set of tires then. So that's what's happening, but I have to go and get that done later today. Wendy Thompson, we were married in the May of 1977, still married. Congratulations, Wendy, well done. Nurse Nancy, we just replaced our front tires yesterday. The fun of keeping up the vehicles, like the shirt, Bruce. Oh, thank you. There's my shirt there. Yeah, the fun of vehicles. I've been very happy with my vehicle. I have a 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Been a very good car. I have 280,000 kilometers. That would be about 170,000 miles on this machine. Most highway. Everything works. It's a limited edition vehicle, so it had all the bells and whistles that came with. Power this, power that, everything works. Just fantastic. Great car. I've been very happy with it. Nurse Nancy just did that. Debbie Manuel, best wishes for speedy recovery. Desi and Jordan, thumbs ups. Awesome, Bruce and Jen, congratulations. Tom Henry, and you need 42 cakes or thumbs ups. Paul Wilkes, I was at Elvis's last concert at the Pontiac Silverdome. How about that? Didn't know it, did you? You didn't know that would be the last time. Desi Wagner, thanks, Debbie. And Jordan, there they are. I got a whole bunch of cakes, and Anne is working hard today. She's popping up all the symbols today. It's fantastic. Maurice, how long are you in Calgary? This week. We're here. I think we return to Creston on Sunday, so that I'll be back on the air from Creston on Monday. That, I believe, is the planning and timing here. D&G Explorers, laughing out loud. And Jordan, the steamer, winter tires year long, wackadoodle. Yeah, I do. I don't want to buy another set of tires for a season that's 3 months long. I don't drive a lot these days anymore, very little actually, and so I'm just too cheap, lazy, cheap. Broke and cheap to want to do that kind of investment for that expense. And in the small little town of Creston, I don't want to bother. I'd probably go across the border to do it, but the problem there is if I have 2 sets of tires, I have to bring a set with me across the border to put them on in the States. I don't want to play that game with Canada Customs coming back and into the US going in. So 1 set of tires I own, and they're on the car, and they'll be the winters, and that'll be that. So it's a convenience thing, and that's just the way it is. But they make noise. Winter tires make noise. Man. And Jordan at Tom Henry, 42 cakes. Seakeeper, we got married in September 77. Old couples rule. How about that? My birthday is in September, so fantastic, Seakeeper. Well done. Peter Heckema, are there any Canadian tire stores? Yes, there are. Quite a number, probably 12. We got a zillion of them here. Maurice is saying, am I the only 25-year-old here? Maybe, Maurice, and you hang on to that age. Don't let go of that. Enjoy it. I'm glad you're here at that age. Shira, man, no, I'm 28. Very good, Shira. Brittany Lockwood, praying for no complications for you. Complications suck. I think complications for Desi, I think, is the word here. And Jordan, thanks at DNG. Desi Wagner, we use all season tires here too. Winter is awful. I hear you there. Maurice, Bruce, would you ever give us a house tour when you get back? I don't think I have the permission to do that. There's a certain person that I cohabitate with who freaks out when I pick up the computer and show you my front door, the front of the house down the street. I don't think that will happen. I don't think so. Steamy Bean, EP's Elvis Presley's last concert was in Indianapolis. He's telling me. Well, now the debate is on. Was it the Pontiac Silverdome in Detroit, or was it in Indianapolis? Where did Elvis last perform? Desi Wagner, I love Canadian Tire. Steamy Bean, do not trust Canadian Tire. There you go. What they haven't got is they haven't got the Costco hot dogs. And to be fair to Fountain Tire, they haven't got Costco hot dogs either. But Canadian Tire works for people. I've been to Canadian Tire many a time. I just find them a bit inconvenient to get to because they are giant standalone stores in usually giant strip mall type locations for huge box retailers. And I'm just not a fan of those kinds of places because you got to drive to this store, and you got to drive over to that store, and you got to drive over to that store. But you know, at this age, I'm getting lazier and lazier. So I can just go to Costco and get most of my stuff done there. Great. Fountain Tire thing is just the Fountain Tire thing. What can I say? What do we got here? Brittany, I had too many complications to count after I broke my left something that includes blood clots in both legs and lungs. Oh, Brittany, you don't want to go through that again. I agree with you there. Stay healthy, my dear. Steamy Bean, they will damage your car on purpose, he says. See, he doesn't like them. Mary Ellen Shaw. Mary, you're here. I'm really glad you're here because we have a Peter and we have a Paul. Now we have a Mary, and everything is set. We're all good. Mary, 1977 was a big year for this group's marriages. We also got married in September 77. What was going on? What were we eating? What were we drinking? What kind of music we're listening to? Because something was happening at these, get-togethers. And next thing you know, people are getting married in 1977. Something happened. Congrats, Mary, on that longevity as well. Brittany Lockwood saying, please do. Blaine, happy wife, happy life. So I guess that's a big no. That's right. That's right. Brittany Lockwood, a house tour ain't happening, Brittany. Desi Wagner, but Canadian Tire has everything. They do barbecues, snow shovels, bathroom parts. What windshield washer for your car, new battery. I got a new battery in my car from Canadian Tire, and it died in like 6 months. Went back, it was still kind of hanging on. Went in there and I said, guys, I think I got a problem with this battery I bought from you. Can you check it out? They wheeled it in there and they put the tester on it and they said, yeah, this battery is dead. It's got a lifetime warranty. They put a new one in there. These things are $130 a pop, no charge whatsoever. Been fine ever since. It's been now 2 years. Battery's just fine. But I've had no problem with Canadian Tire. But that's just me. Maurice, when you do a group cruise, would Jen go on it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Jen will definitely be on the group cruise. Yes. Jen will be there. The question then, of course, will be, how do we handle that? Is Jen going to hide in the room or, just be an anonymous passenger on the ship that, and at dinner time, do I just come to the main dining room on my own and hang out with you guys? What's going to happen there? We may have to do some kind of a Dutch auction or something to see if we can get her to come out. I don't know. We'll keep you posted. Peter Heckema, we used to have snow tires on the car in Florida, but they melted. Believe it. Yeah, I believe it. We've driven the winter tires down to Phoenix to visit friends of mine. But of course, that's in the winter to visit them. And so, 70 for the high, 75 for the high in January, not a problem for the tires, but I know what you mean. If you're driving in real hot weather there, they can't handle it. Paul Wilgus, at the Steaming Bean, there was a very small concert. His last major one was at the Silverdome, 77,000 people. So the one in Indianapolis must have been a smaller venue. But nonetheless, there you go. Robert Brandt laughing out loud at Peter Heckema. D&G Explorers, the same thing, laughing out loud about the melting tires. Seakeeper, view of the front of the house should be available on Google Earth Street View Does Canadian Tire still give out Canadian Tire money? Yes, they do. They still do give out Canadian Tire money. Looks like monopoly money as far as the size of the bill is concerned. It's a smaller bill, but it's a high quality piece of banknote. I suppose if you were inclined, you could probably counterfeit it if you were of that ilk. Maybe some people have over the years, but to spend it, I mean, if you tried to walk into a Canadian Tire store and drop 500 Canadian dollars on a purchase, they'd be looking at those bills pretty close. It's kind of normal where you buy a $20 item and you got 50 cents of Canadian Tire money from the last few purchases you made. They're happy to take that. They don't care about it. But if you bring in their 30 or 50 or 100 or $500 of Canadian Tire money, they're going to take a good look. By the way, Canadian Tire money is a collectible. There are people out there who collect Canadian Tire bills through all the years that Canadian Tire has been issuing Canadian Tire, and it's a big deal with bill collectors. It really is. I have a guest who just showed up. He's coming across the screen. Pan is here. Pan is showing his best side to you right there. Look at that. There's Pan's good side. I don't know why. What are you looking at there, buddy? Okay, now he's going behind the computer. Nice coming around again. Here he comes. Here, round two. How's it going? What's going on? What? Yeah, I know. I'm in the middle of a show right now. Did you not know that? You heard me talking, didn't you? You don't care, right? Oh, wait a minute. No. What is it? You want to tell me a secret? You want to say hi to somebody? Just want to sniff the table over here? Cats. What are you gonna do? Yeah. How you doing? Yeah. Okay. Pan, the panster. He's the affectionate one. He's he loves to be petted and held and this kind of thing. Right now, he's just sort of sitting off to the side here, cooling off on the tabletop. And shortly, he'll pick up my pen and my notes and start playing with those. That's the way Pan is. What can I say? Desi Wagner. Oh no, Brittany. So far, so good. Desi, you hang right in there and get better fast. Wendy Thompson. Laugh out loud, Peter. We saw Bob Seger and Jethro Tull. Ooh. Good concert. Wendy Thompson at the Silver Note. That would have been pretty cool. Robert Brandt, happy wife, no divorce lawyer. That's right. That's exactly right. Paul Wilgus, I didn't get married in '77, but graduated that year from high school. I graduated in '73, I guess, or so. 73, 74, and then 3 years of college. And here. Don't mind him. Moved out to Calgary in '77 and been out west ever since. What can I say? But also down south to Cayman and to Palm Desert, California. What can I do for you? Is there something you need? What's it? You're purring at me. I understand I know what that means. I know what you want. You want this. Yeah, I know what you want. You want this stuff. But I'm working right now. I'm with an audience here around the world. Did you know that? I have people from Australia watching me, and now you're coming down to my lap, are you? Is that? Yeah. What now? What? You like my shirt? Everyone likes the shirt. Yeah, it's a great shirt. Yeah. You're gonna sit here now? What now? What? No. This way. You want to go? This is your good side? This is good side, and he's on my lap. Yeah. Can't help these guys. Do the best we can. We feed them. We give them water. Oh, here we go. We give them water, and then we give them this, and they like it. And they come back for more. What can I say? Tracy Dunlop, you must have been listening to Fleetwood Mac back in '77. I would say, yeah. So who wasn't listening to Fleetwood Mac? D&G Explorers, I moved from England to California in '77. What a year of movement for all of us. My goodness, things happened in our lives. Rob Souter, greetings from Lewiston, New York today. Bruce, it's 80 degrees. Welcome, sir. Back to the show. Glad you're here. Don't mind me. I'm petting a cat. Cat sitting and house sitting here in Calgary this week, and this is what I got to put up with. Wendy Thompson, Paul, still love you of M, she says. University of Michigan. Brittany Lockwood, I don't drive, but I heard that it can take a while to get the right tires for a vehicle. Depends on what you need. If you're looking for, in the summer, if you're looking for summer tires, no problem. In the winter, middle of winter, you're looking for winter tires, no problem. But in September, when you're thinking of an early winter, you and a whole bunch of other folks are looking at winter tires. Firstly, especially around here, the first sign of a blizzard in Calgary, the first snowstorm of the year, Every tire shop is packed with cars because everyone put it off. They put it off. Now they're desperate to get their tires, and you've got a 1 week waiting period just to get tires. Crazy times because everyone's switching from summer to winter, I suppose. Let's see here. Seakeeper, Canadian Tire once tried to replace something on my car that didn't exist on my car. Whatever chamfers are, I didn't have them. I fondly remember their snow shovel sale every September. Bean is right. They find problems with your car, and that's something. You are purring up a storm, aren't you? Yeah, you like it. You like it. Look at that. You just give me some more of that action there, Bruce. Come on, buddy. You're my pal. We're buds. We're bestest buds. My mother, Elvis, a steamer saying, my mother saw Elvis in Ottawa in the 50s. Wendy Thompson, bring Jen Jr. too. Little Jen. Yeah, that's probably impossible. Although you never know. Maybe Jen Jr. would come. Jen Jr. is one busy person. Steaming Bean, put Jen first. Put Jen first. Okay. Whatever that means. Where am I here? Here we go. Maurice, do you have any news today? I do have news. Richard C. Is he back? Paul Wilgus, my parents, I'll get to the news in just a second. I'm almost finished here. My parents managed apartments, and a lot of the Lions lived there. They would give me tickets to all the concerts. The Detroit Lions, fantastic. Tom Henry, Bruce needs a 4-wheel drive or 2 extra wheels to put on the snow tires to rest over the summer. I used to do this with a former car. Paul Wilgus, Wendy Thompson, Go Blue, Nurse Nancy, Pan, Cute Kitty. Pan wants a royalty, Robert is saying. Yeah, and Jordan, morning, Pan, greetings. Brittany Lockwood, hi, Pan. Seakeeper, some unscrupulous tourists were buying souvenirs in the Caribbean islands with Canadian Tire money when we started cruising in 1989. Shame, Canadians. Nice tabby, by the way. Oh, my goodness. Using Canadian Tire as its official Canadian currency. Oh, God. Rob Sutter looks like a one-eyed cat from here. Tom Henry, good year. Paul 77 here too. Wendy Thompson, it is the Pan show with Bruce. Brittany Lockwood, Pan is not camera shy. Oh no. Sylvia, the Pan and Bruce show. Nurse Nancy, what do you think about zip lining on an excursion after that bad accident? Oh my, isn't that I'm not interested. I'll tell you that right now. That's scary stuff. The Steaming Bean turned 10 in 77. Oh my goodness. Tom Henry, Bean, you are making me feel old. Steamer age is but a number. Nurse Nancy, I'm right behind you, Bean. Turned 8 in 77. The steamer, I know of a mechanic in Edmonton who was told to purposely damage cars. Wow. And Jordan, 43 on Sunday, 75 rocks. Tracy Dunlop, I bet we'd have to wait quite a while for winter tires in Southwest Florida. Laugh out loud. I bet you. Stephen Bean, Canadian Tire, did some shady things to me in Ottawa years ago. And Sylvia, 1 year out of high school in 77. Sylvia, fantastic. All right, I caught up with all you guys, and I've got some news for you. I was working on my stuff this morning to see what I could talk to you about. A couple of things came up. First of all, I'll mention that caught an article today that I always find fascinating. It's the fact that it's my headline that there are more cruise ships on order now than at any time in history. That's just unbelievable. There are 113 cruise ships on order right now at cruise ships around the world, and cruise ship builders, shipbuilders, but cruise ship builders in particular, are stressed to the max. They've got back orders like crazy. They are under unbelievable pressure to build out and deliver 500 million, 800 million, $1 billion machines for their customers, the cruise lines. And the cruise lines are saying, hurry it up. We want these big mega ships. The sooner the better. Norwegian just was last week announced that they've added 2 more Leonardo class cruise ships to their orders. That makes a total of 6 Leonardo class ships. I believe each is going to hold 3,300 passengers. There's 20,000 passengers right there that will be housed in those ships when they are delivered. That is just fantastic. The number of berths on order, which coincides to how many beds there are. 268,854 berths on order right now. That is also a record. And so the ships, not only are there more ships on order, but a whole bunch of large ships on order. They are growing. Now, in the 80s, mid 80s, the largest ships at sea were some of the old ocean liners like the SS Norway, which was at one time, I believe, the SS France. That held 2,000 passengers. Those were the giant ships at sea, or that was one of the last of them from the old days. They converted it to the SS Norway and made it a vacationing, vacation ship, a cruise ship for, cruises to nowhere, Miami to Miami, not going anywhere, Miami to Miami, coming back. Today, the average size of a ship coming off from a shipbuilder, 2,750 passengers is the average size. And you folks know, we talk about all the time, Symphony of the Seas, 6,500. The Bliss, almost 5,000 passengers. The Norwegian Joy that went to China and now coming back to Seattle next week or next April, almost 5,000 passengers. You can just see how huge these new cruise ships are. Even the Norwegian Edge, which was built several years ago now, not Edge, so the Norwegian Epic, 4,200 passengers. So 2,700 is just the average, and that average would be higher, except for the fact that there are 30 orders in right now for what are known as expedition ships. These are the cruise liners the cruise ships that will hold anywhere from 150 to 300 passengers maybe, and are designed to act as almost, I will say, light icebreakers. They will be heading to ports, or let's put it this way, they will head to places in the Arctic and the Antarctic. And they will have Zodiacs on board, and you spend enough money, you can go on one of these and visit the penguins in the Antarctic, or you can head up towards Greenland and Baffin Island up in Canada, way up north. 30 of these expedition ships are on order and will be delivered within the next 7-8 years. This number, 113, these are to be delivered by 2027. That's in the next 9 years. They will all be delivered. Between now and then, there will be a whack more, another bunch of ship orders on top of these. As each ship gets built, another gets ordered, it seems. Now, to give you an idea of what this means, 113, in 1992, there weren't even 10 ships on order total for the entire industry. From 1994 to 1997, things started to pick up. And the numbers ranged from a low of 20 to a high of 30 ships a year. And those are considered good times. 1998 to 2002, it peaked out for a while between 45 ships a year and 70 a year. And after breaking the 70 barrier, it would be a long time before it would be broken again. After 2002, there was a steep cutback on the number of ships being delivered and ordered. 2003 to 2006, there were only 20 to 35 ships on order, less than half of the peak at 70. And then from 2007 to 2009, it got back to 35 to 50 ships, roughly in that range. But in 2008, 2009, we had the worldwide financial meltdown. And it meant that from 2010 until 2014, only 4 years ago, the annual build-out rate was between 20 and 30 ships a year. That was coming back to 1994 numbers. That's how bad the recession was in 2008, 9, 10. Well, from 2010 to 2014, like I say, 20 to 30 ships. And 2015, it got up to 50 ships. 2016, they hit 70 again, which brought us back to 2002. 2017, 105 cruise ships. Now, 2018, we're at 113 cruise ships on order. And that takes into effect and into account the fact that ships have been delivered all this year. The Symphony of the Seas was delivered. The Horizon was delivered for Carnival. The Bliss was delivered for Norwegian. Other cruise lines have received ships all year long, and the back order is still at 113, representing 268,000 berths. So this gives you an idea of just how much is ordered, how many cabins and spots will have to be filled. When you're talking about 268,000 berths, that means the cruise business is expecting in the next 9 years 268,000 more bookings a week will come in to keep these new ships full. Of course, these new ships will likely replace some of the older ones, but not all of them. 113 coming in doesn't mean 113 going out. It might be 30 going out and 113 coming in, which is a gain of 83 ships, which could mean 200,000 berths still to be filled that aren't needed today. And that is 200,000 cruises a week if we're talking about ships going on a cruise once a week here. This is a stunning series of numbers. You figure 200,000 cruises at maybe $800 a cruise, $700 a cruise, just do some simple math, plus taxes and fees and tipping and everything else. This is staggering money, just staggering money. And this shows you what the cruise line operators actually feel the future looks like between now and 2027. So hold on to your hats. It's getting interesting. I made a big deal last week about the Norwegian Joy being shifted from China over to Seattle and then down to Los Angeles because of the fact that they abandoned the Chinese market for now with that ship. I think there will be some deals out of Los Angeles and possibly Long Beach because of Carnival and because of San Diego, because Holland America and Carnival will be putting ships there this winter. It'll be interesting to see if cruises to Mexico, possibly some cruises through the Panama Canal, might be under pressure because the Norwegian Joy was not planned to be in LA next winter. There were no plans for this 5,000 passenger, almost 4,800 passenger ship to be in LA every week or two with respect to, well, I guess every 4 weeks with respect to Panama Canal, 2 weeks over, 2 weeks back. But all of a sudden, all these berths have shown up out of Los Angeles, and it could be interesting to watch. So I will be very eagerly watching and anticipating the cruise prices out of the West Coast, because last year, for 2017, the winter of, and early this year, 2018, there were no cheap deals out of LA for a Mexican cruise. The Splendor and the Princess Line ship that they were operating, there were no deals out of LA at all. Very expensive last year. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Should be interesting. Now, with these new ships coming on board, another 250,000 berths, this pace, we're looking at probably 30,000 a year coming online here on top of what's out there. Pressure is on. If there's any kind of economic slowdown anywhere, just a little glitch of a slowdown, cruise prices could be in for a bit of a shock. So we'll keep an eye and see what happens. I have a little other news for you. I'll get to in just a second. I'm just going to catch up with messages because I've been watching this screen just going crazy here as you guys are talking here, and see if any have any comments that I need to get to. Let's see. How are all these ships going to fit in port? Desi Wagner is saying. Desi, I got to tell you, not a week goes by when I don't come out with a story for you guys, an update of a cruise port being built from scratch. In the case of Dominican Republic, they're adding a new cruise port that will handle, I think, up to 4 Oasis class ships at a time. So that's a big port. Or existing ports are expanding. Right now, Port Canaveral, Port Everglades, they're expanding dramatically right now, especially Port Canaveral. They're really pouring in some serious money. Lisbon, they're doing a major expansion. Barcelona, I think, just finished one in Barcelona. Other countries, like right now, not New Zealand, Australia, they're grappling in Sydney what to do with additional capacity. They're trying to figure out a way to offer additional capacity to cruise ships without putting them in the container area, the container port. The cruise lines, of course, they want their cruise ship in one place in Sydney, Australia, right beside that opera house and the bridge. That's where they want to be. They don't want to be anywhere else. And they want all of their guests to get off the ship and walk a little ways over here and then shoot camera shots at the ship beside the opera house with the bridge in the background. That's every cruise director's dream. and there's only so much space in downtown Sydney, Australia, for that kind of thing to happen. So there's tremendous pressure on ports. You make a very good point. We'll see what happens here as time goes by. Certain islands in the Caribbean are expanding their ports in anticipation of increased business because they know it's coming. There's only so many islands you can visit, and if you haven't got a port facility, you don't get the business, and so they're going to offer it. Wendy Thompson, sounds like more ships than passengers to sail on them. You know, the folks in the cruise business, they're predicting 30 million by next year, and they're, you know, they're not even flinching. We'll have 30 million passengers next year, not a problem at all. But they're talking 50 million in the next 15, 20 years, maybe sooner. 50 million passengers a year, a million a week. That is serious business. That is serious stuff. Tom Henry, of course, keep in mind, if you're bringing in a million passengers a week, you have to offload a million because that's called turnaround. So that's actually on turnover days, you know, 2 million people in and out over the week are turning over through ports. This is why Miami and Port Everglades and Port Canaveral and others, they desperately want to keep expanding to handle this business. They want the action. They want this turnaround business. It's big money. It puts a lot of cab drivers to work. A lot of airlines like the business, of course. Gas stations selling the gas. And suppliers to the cruise business, you bet. And of course, the hotels in the area for those who are staying overnight before the cruise or staying a night or two or three after. Yeah, this is big money. Tom Henry, I think they will be good places to live when North Korea nukes us. There you go. Paul Wilgus, the cruise market may get too saturated with ships, and that could backfire unless they retire some. Paul, you could be right. You know, if this business, if we go 5 more years here and add 150,000 new berths or 120, whatever it is by that time, and we have a little bit of an economic pullback, there could be some serious bargains out there. I can definitely see the older ships, the more inefficient ships, being retired or being mothballed or being sold off to secondary lines or being turned into ferry runners in third world countries, that kind of thing. I can see that possibly happening to some of the older ships, but look at what happened 2 days ago with Carnival. They've got a 20-year-old cruise ship called the Triumph, and in the cruise business, 20 is getting up there. Not old, ancient, but it's getting up there. Well, from a distance, the Triumph still looks sleek and modern, like most newer ships. $200 million upgrade going into the Triumph and renaming it the Sunrise. That's a rarity to have that kind of money spent on any ship. A big dry dock is 50 million, maybe 100. Mariner of the Seas a month or two ago, $120 million was poured into that ship by Royal Caribbean, but that ship I think was 12 years old. This one's 20. They're putting in $200 million. That ship is going to be sailing another 15 years. And so they're not going to replace that one. That's a 3,000 passenger ship that's going to be working a long time. They want that money back. But these new ships, they have to sail. There are bonds out there through bankers that are being issued to pay for these. And they will be built and they will be sailed at the expense of the very old ships, probably. If it had to happen that way, that might work. Robert Brandt, they will retire some, and I think they count on repeat cruisers. Oh, they do. Kat is saying, wow. Peter Heckema, with all these ships coming online, I would expect better deals, especially if something happens to the economy. Reading my mind, buddy. Michelle Lucas, hello from Sturgis, South Dakota. Sunny and 78 nice degrees. Big ass RV and camp ready, and Harley riding awaits in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Fantastic, Michelle. Have a great time. You deserve it. That should be really good times. Jay Sonic. Hey, Bruce, just coming here to say hello to you and everyone in there. Have a good time in Calgary. Thanks, buddy. You have a good one yourself. Paul Wilgus, if the economy tanks again, they will be seriously hurting. Yeah, they could be carrying some serious debt. I can see, however, cruises being discounted by half price, by half. Half of the cheap deals I'm talking about. I'm not talking brochure rates, okay, because no one should be paying brochure rates. But if you can get a cruise right now on, say, Symphony of the Seas for $800 for a week for a standard balcony, I can see them going to $399 on a standard balcony. They'll do that in a heartbeat because they need 6,000 people on that ship. They want you in that casino. They want you in the specialty restaurants. They want you paying extra for other features, and you'll feel richer because you got on this mega ship for only $400. You'll feel a little more flush, and you'll enjoy yourself. Here's take 2 of the Pan Show, another rerun, and we start off with the butt shot right here, so you can see the Panner giving us our good look there, and now he's noticing Jen, and Jen is asking him to come on over, and he's falling for it. All right. Tom Henry, hang on, I want to make sure I get this as the next comment. Yeah, Tom Henry, with all these ships, NCL needs to get Adrian in line before he fills all the competition's ships. Yes, Adrian, I refer to him as the Haven Nazi. Our friends over at Cruising with Wheels are calling him, what is it, the hater, the Haven hater, something like that. The hater in the Haven. What a story on this guy. I'll talk to him about him in a second. Desi Wagner, I agree with you, Peter Heckema. Silo Steve, hey all, 76 for the high, 60 for the low in Seattle, and headed for a cool down. 87 days until Mexican Riviera on the Bliss. 87 days, man. I'm sure you're tasting it now, Silo. It's coming. Tom Henry, hi Jay Sonic. Robert Brandt at Tom Henry, you got that right. And Paul Wilgus said, Tom Henry, agree. NCL has got a problem and they are not admitting to it publicly. And why would they? Jay Sonic, how are you, Tom? Kat, sorry to be late. No problem, Kat. Welcome to the show. Tom Henry, Kat, you missed the kitty show. She just got a piece of it just now. Kat's going, darn. And Jordan, morning, Michelle, Jay Sonic, and Saddle Steve, how are you all? Tom Henry, Jay Sonic, doing well in Virginia. Paul Wilgus at Steamy Bean, I agree. Jay Sonic, I'm glad. Okay, let me go through. Desi Wagner. Hey, Michelle, you and Randy enjoy Sturgis. Would love to go one day. And Jordan, Silo, Steve, have you seen Cruising with Wheels response yet to the Tales of the High Seas? I posted it on, yep, and I think a bunch of us have. And Jordan, morning, Michelle and Randy. Let's see, Robert Brandt, St. Thomas can handle 8 ships, but the streets are packed with 5 or 6. That's right, and there's a point where you just can't take anymore. You just can't. It ruins the experience of going in the first place. I mean, what's the point of going? Rob Souter, after Norwegian response to Cruising with Wheels, the soup Nazi screw up, and the amount of people who said they would never get on one of their ships, there might be some great bargains on Norwegian. You got to wonder how long will this go on? Wes Morrison, have you heard anything about the Port of Galveston expanding? Wes, I have not. I have not heard anything official about Galveston. I'm always looking for news, that's out there. Hey, Cat, you're wondering where the cat is? Hey, look what the cat dragged in. The cat dragged the cat in. He's off to the side again. So if I hear anything on it, Wes, I'll certainly let you know on it. But so far, I haven't heard anything about it. The Steamy Bean, Sydney has little to offer after the bridge and Opera House. I don't know. I'd kind of like to hang out there for a while. Tom Henry, how is the Port of Houston? I was on the Jewel for the opening of the port in 2014. Not seeing much offered now. Tom, I don't know. It's a good question. I don't hear much about Houston being talked about either. Nurse Nancy, got to run. Nice hanging out with a cruise loving crowd. Nurse Nancy, it's always nice to have you here. Come back anytime, and thank you for coming by. Give me a thumbs up out the door, please. Tom Henry, bye, Nurse Nancy. Robert Brandt, the cruise lines want you to see the bargain in cruising, $100 to $200 a day, including food. Not many places you can get a hotel and 3 meals and beat that and see several destinations. Robert, you're absolutely right. Even at the prices that we see today, my goodness, the other day I was noticing cruises. I believe they were in November on Holland America. I think it was the Neustadt balcony, $550, $575 for a week per person, 7 days on those ships. That's a great deal. That is a super. I don't care about all the extra charges, tipping extra, all that. I don't care. That's a deal. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And destinations, different view out of your window every day. You gotta love it. Silo Steve, yes, I did, and surprised, not surprised by Norwegian's response. I do think if they were actually staying in the Haven, their complaint may have been taken more seriously. A bad employee is not good. Interesting, so very good point. Steamer, thinking about how many overpriced so-called art will be bought on ships. Love dogs playing cards on black velvet. I don't know. Michelle Lucas, hi Ann, Desi, so glad to be out of smoky California, Nevada, Utah. Like cruises, we love people watching. We love people watching, learning how others travel. Oh, the topless Tuesdays. Oh, and topless Tuesdays. I do not know to which you're referring. What cruise is that? Please, pray tell. Robert Brett. Funny at the steamer, and oddly, I think they sell a lot of that art. Steamy Bean, yes, it is ghastly and overpriced. Steamer says. Robert Brent, I agree. And Jordan, Sydney is a very busy port, and I've been following articles on this. They are running out of room. In Brisbane, we are getting a super port in 2020 owned by Canaveral. Happy we will have facilities. Right on. Seakeeper, my wife's mom and dad had a frame with those dogs playing cards hanging in their dining room. Classy. They also had the blue boy hanging in the living room. I think they were reproductions, probably were. Steaming Bean, I am surprised that no YouTubers do videos on this sketchy art business. Tom Henry at Robert Brandt, this 1862 is pretty good as a shot too, he's saying. Robert Brandt, I have a great sipping rum from Barbados at Tom Henry. They're comparing booze. Ulani's here. Hi there. No cruise port in Houston anymore. Every year they had issues getting ships to the port because of the fog. Wonder if all the lines will have ships going to Dubai. Isn't that interesting? I know Dubai is building a huge facility, brand new port facility just for cruise passengers, nowhere near the container port that they've been using in the past. It'll be interesting to see if they move the Queen Elizabeth over there when they set up this new port, because Dubai wants to do some serious business. But Dubai does have fog issues from time to time as well. It will be interesting to see how this plays out. And Jordan, Silo Steve, I hope you don't run into him in October. Okay, and Jordan is worried that Silo Steve might run into Adrian, the soup Nazi, the Haven Nazi on the Haven. We'll have to see. Then again, I'm dying to find out if Silo Steve runs into the Haven Nazi, because I think he's going to give it to him. But good when he shows him his room key. Jay Sonic Hedgehog. Anyway, anyone? I'm done. Have a super day, everybody. Thanks, Jay Sonic. You take care in Montreal. Cat Rose is saying hi, Kitty. MG Toe. To solve the overcrowded ports, just stay on board and enjoy the ship. That's always that's always an option, my friend. Brittany Lockwood, listening in while I am making my dinner. Salad night. Right on, Brittany. Tom Henry. Wow, Looney, what a waste of money for the Houston port. It was a sad thing. And Jordan Haypan again. Yep. Rob, NCL has a really big. They have a really big set asking Cruising with Wheels to take down the vlog of their screw up. Yeah, that's right. The Steamy Bean. Did you know that a serial killer used Princess? It's true. Did you know it? I didn't know. D&G Explorers, LOL. We are going to look for Adrian in December. We're going to look for this guy. Tom Henry, Silo. Better see him and make him do lots of chores. That's right. Drop and give me 20, buddy. Drop and give me 20. Okay, I'm going to get to the Haven story in just a second regarding the Haven Nazi, but a quick little note. I saw a news story today. This has nothing to do with cruise ship business per se, but it's kind of related. It was a news article I caught that I noted it, and I thought I'd mention it to you guys. There's a Mediterranean. There's a company in the Mediterranean. It's a ferry line. They run most of their ferries in Italy. Called Balearia, Balearia, Balearia Ferry Company. They are converting 5 of their ferries into liquid natural gas powered ferries. They're doing retrofits on existing ships. 70 million American dollars, 14 million a ship is what it's costing them. I found that an interesting piece because I think last week I was talking about, might have been the week before, talking to you guys about pollution in the middle of the cities where cruise ships are coming to call. And this is a big deal in Europe because a lot of the ports in Europe were in downtown, Old Town, Italy, France, Spain, you name it, of course. And today, modern port facilities, they've been modified over the years, and these cruise ships are trying to bring their passengers right to the dock if they can, so they can just lower the gangplank and let them go. Cheaper and quicker to operate that way than to run on tenders. The problem is, if the port doesn't have electricity right down at the pier, the cruise ship has to run its generators, run those engines, and out go those pollutants up into the sky. Europe, with the Paris Accords, the environmental accords, they're still on the Paris Accords. They've got strict standards being raised virtually every couple of years. And the ferry company here, they figured it out. They know they don't modernize their ferries, they will be banned. They will not be able to operate at all. And they're wide open to outside competition that will build brand new ferry ships now with LNG power. They'll be knocked out of the game. So these guys are spending $70 million to upgrade the 5 ferries. And you can imagine that if you're running a ferry 3 or 4 times a day to wherever you're going, each side of the trip, you're in downtown wherever, and your smokestacks are belching out right now these toxins. This is a no-go. They're done for. So they're converting now. They're ahead of the curve. They're not going to be, they may be made to be doing it anyway. They're doing it. And this is happening across the board in Europe right now and elsewhere, but not necessarily in the States, because in the USA, it's an easygoing time right now for environmental regulations and restrictions. Hopefully, with Mr. Pruitt retired, maybe things will improve, but this is a future. Now, cruise lines have got to adhere to these restrictions, because if you want to move a cruise ship, reposition it from one area like Caribbean to the Mediterranean or to Northern Europe for the summer, you better make sure that your ship is compliant with emission standards wherever you go to Port of Call. Hamburg may not allow you in. Venice may not allow you in. Rome's port, Barcelona, name them. They're all up there. There's a bunch of ships that may not be compliant in the next 5 years for port calls, port visits to certain ports. And that's why we're noticing now, I've been mentioning every time I see a new announcement of a new ship being built, I make a point of mentioning whether or not it's a LNG powered cruise ship, because that is the way it's heading now, LNG power. All right, the topic, another one is Norwegian Cruise Lines and Alaska Airlines. Norwegian Cruise Lines, because of Cruising with Wheels, they did an update video today, the Tales of the High Seas. Wasn't it Frank who was on the air today? And gave us an update to their letters and emails to Norwegian Cruise Line management. Wanted to know, hey, we had a really bad experience here. We ran into something pretty unbelievable. What do you have to say for yourselves? I mean, what are your thoughts? Frank, I'm trying to remember his partner's name, and Kevin and Frank. Sorry, Kevin and Frank were assured, promised, assured, told, and directed by the promotions department of Norwegian. Like before, when you get to the port in Seattle to go on the Bliss, go into the port and go right up to the check-in lounge for the Haven. Don't bother going to the check-in lounge for everybody else. You guys, we've cleared you to go through the Haven. Even though they rent an inside room because of handicap issues, accessibility issues, they can't book a room in the Haven. The Haven is not able to accommodate wheelchair accessible restricted people. So for accessibility, they booked a double size room, inside room, and the folks at the promotions department, as always, decked out the room for them with Haven soaps, Haven shampoos, Haven treats, gifts, welcome bottle of champagne, everything a Haven guest would get was in their room waiting for them as promised. As always, this is not like a one-off thing. They were on the Jade on their last cruise, and they were Haven guests. Same thing. They had an inside room, and they had all the accoutrements waiting for them in their cabin, and they were treated royally all cruise long, and they were just thrilled by it, of course, very appreciative of it, obviously, and they had a fabulous time on the Jade. The concierge on the Jade took extra special care of these two because she got the memo that these two guys are coming from Cruising with Wheels, and they are friends of the cruise line. They are welcomed by the PR department. upstairs, and when they come on board, take good care of them. And they did. And they took very good care of them. And a whole bunch of nice videos came out on the Jade from Cruising with Wheels. So here they go on to the Bliss. And the check-in process went perfectly. Everything went great. They were being escorted onto the ship with 2 Haven staff members. One person whose job is to push the wheelchair. The other person was their escort, escorting them into the ship through special elevators, express elevators, up to the Haven level to go to have lunch. Because the first thing you do when you get on a cruise ship is get a bite to eat, or look out, check out the ship. In this case, they were getting a bite to eat in the Haven restaurant up there. When they ran into at the door of the restaurant, who was standing there with a clipboard? Adrian, the Haven Nazi, as I refer to him now. And he looked at these 2 guys and didn't look at the 2 staff members bringing them in. He looked at these 2 guys and said, "What's your room number?" And they showed him their room key. And he didn't have any notification on his notes anywhere of the fact that these 2 were coming and that they were actually guests of the promotion department for the Haven area. He had nothing. And he immediately assumed these guys are trying to pull a fast one. I'm going to show them who's boss. You're not sneaking into this ship. And he told them, get out. They wanted to explain he didn't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Don't care who said you. I don't care who told you you could come here. Get out. And they were unceremoniously kicked out. They went back. So they went down to a restaurant below deck and ate there. And they checked into the room later when all their accoutrements were waiting for them. And then they met later on in the cruise a couple who were staying in an aft balcony suite at the back of the ship. All those rooms in the back of the ship, the aft balcony on the Bliss, those are all Haven suites. They all have Haven everything, Haven bathrobes, Haven slippers, Haven soaps, the Haven everything. And they're allowed in the Haven restaurants. And the couple that they met were up there in the Haven area, and they ran into Adrian as well. And he was giving them the hard time. Where are your rooms? I don't recognize you from up here. You're not in these 2 or 3 floors up here at the Haven level. You're not. I don't see you in the courtyard. No, because we have room in the aft deck. We have a Haven suite aft deck. This guy couldn't put 2 and 2 together. He couldn't. It didn't register to him that the back suites, the aft suites, were Haven suites. He thought they were pulling a fast one. And he gave them a rough ride. I don't know how they resolved it, but they were in the restaurant later. They told Kevin and Frank, we're planning a wedding. Big wedding. We're looking to have our wedding in the Haven Suites with a whole bunch of guests, all to stay in the Haven Suites in our courtyard. We were going to have a fabulous week, a great wedding and honeymoon and celebration. We're not coming here. We're not booking the Norwegian for all the tea in China. What's it like on MSC on the yacht club? What's it like? They wanted to know what the other lines were like from these 2 guys. And story after story after story was coming out all the time. Anyway, they wrote the president of the company. Waited 3 weeks, no response. They contacted the office of the president, talked to an assistant who then referred them to another department that handles complaints. They talked to those people. They said, we got your letter. It was forwarded to us by the president of the company, but you were looked after by the promotions department. We have sent it now to them. They're going to handle the complaint for you. And then they reached out to contact their promotions director, who they didn't want to involve because they didn't feel she had anything to do with this. And then they waited for her response, and they got one. And she was apologetic on the one hand for how it happened. Things happen. But then tried to defend herself by saying, we had 5 cruises in a row on the Bliss that were all inaugural cruises. We had the inaugural cruise from Europe. We had an inaugural cruise out of New York. We had another one here, another one there. And yours was the first cruise for Alaska, inaugural cruise. And somehow, somewhere, the signals got lost between us in the promotion department telling the folks at the Haven Club, in this case, Adrian, to take care of you. Obviously never got the message, and we're sorry that happened. We're looking to improve the service, and we hope it won't happen again. But no apology from Adrian, no action against Adrian. And then the coup de grace, the gal at the promotions department said, I saw the video that you made about this incident, and I'm very sorry that that had to happen. Could you please remove the video from YouTube? Would you please take it down so that it's not out there anymore? No resolution to the problem, no solution to the Adrian issue, and they want Cruising with Wheels to shut the hell up and take the thing off the air. Cruising with Wheels has had over 400 comments come in to their channel about that video, about that individual. Many, many complaints from people they'd never met before who've had problems with this guy, not only on the cruise they were on cruises since they were on the ship. There is still an ongoing issue with this guy. Whole bunch of people are upset, never swearing never to go back. If that guy's on there, I'm not going on that ship. No chance am I going on that ship with that Yahoo. And they responded back to her within 2 hours with a response to say, thank you for responding to us and all this. However, with the unbelievable response and the so many people complaining and filling us in what's happening, we feel that we're acting as a conduit for people because they certainly have nowhere. It seems they have nowhere to go to talk to anybody about it. Everyone's passing the buck here, and they want a resolution. Now, they did clarify, we do not have a problem with Norwegian Cruise Lines. It's not the cruise line we have a problem with. We have a problem with Adrian Biko on the Bliss. That's the problem. And no one is resolving the problem. No one is addressing what to do about the actual problem. They're basing the problem on external other forces, communication issues. We're just so busy with all these different cruises, and we just couldn't get the message across. It wasn't the Adrian Biko problem that they were talking about, and this is what got to them. Anyway, they did get another response from promotion department. It was 2 sentences long, saying we've already responded to you with respect to what we're trying to do about it, and thanks again for your for your visiting us and being a client of our ship, of our cruise. That's about it. They have no resolution yet as to what really is going on, and I don't know how this is going to play out. In the long run, I know that the Cruising with Wheels guys have a cruise booked, a group cruise booked. I believe it's the Getaway. So far, it's on. It's still on, but they have had quite a ride, and it's now been almost 5 weeks. 5 weeks since they were on the ship and had this incident and wrote the letters, and they got very little back from Norwegian. So I know I made a big stink about Norwegian back when the Norwegian Sun was in effect a cruise ship full of cruisers that was turned into a construction cruise with toxic chemicals and everything else through the Panama Canal. And the week prior to that, and I went on endlessly about how they weren't being compensated and how they were being offered just a so-so deal. Then they got a little better offer, finally a refund type offer, not even a refund, just a cruise credit thing. There are still people ill from that cruise, no resolutions. And here we have another issue with the Bliss. And for some reason, Norwegian just can't seem to get their feet out of their own way to resolve problems. There seems to be a disconnect between corporate operations and the ships themselves. And sometimes the problem is the ships, sometimes the problem is the corporate, but they just haven't got there. They're not as smooth as, let's say, Carnival is lately. Carnival has been real fast with any screw up. Carnival just is right on top of it with cruise credits, instant refunds, accommodations to get you home. We'll take care of any fees you get from the airlines. We'll take care of you. Norwegian, it's like pulling wisdom teeth out without any freezing to get anything accomplished here. It's quite surprising. I am disappointed. What do you say? Anyway, there you go. I'm curious what you folks are saying here. D&G going to look for Adrian in December. Let's see here. Ann Jordan. Let's see. Ann Jordan saying, I agree, Rob Sutter, asking CWW to take down their vlog. That's gutsy. Cat, the city buses here run on CNG, compressed natural gas, right on. Steamy Bean, glad the Cruising with Wheels did not pull the video. They're not going to do that. And Jordan, the Steamy Bean, agreeing with you also. Silo, don't worry. I will introduce myself. Remind him we met on the Alaska inaugural in a service elevator with Cruising with Wheels Kevin. Point out he said, yeah, right, when I said we will be in the Haven in October. I can't wait for this. I'm dying to hear from you. I'm just dying to know. Oh, this will be something. Maybe if you could get someone to take a camera, like a cell phone, and stand over to the side, so sort of like in a very casual kind of way, while you're talking to this guy. Maybe you can get it on camera. That would be golden. I'd love to see the reaction of this guy. If he didn't know he was being filmed when you're doing this, that would be great. Oh my goodness, steaming. The Noive, the steamer is saying, as Paul Lucas says, Silo, I hope you do too. You get this guy, Steamer Silo. He should be embarrassed. Cat Rose, he should. And Jordan, awesome, Silo. I hope you do it as well. Seakeeper, it boggles the mind that nobody thought to include a couple handicapped accessible cabins in the Haven. I know. With the NCL Sun fiasco, the Haven Nazi on the Bliss, you got to wonder. I am telling you, I'm right there. Paul Wilgus agrees as well. Tom Henry, Salo, Steve. I want to see his face as he realizes his tip is lost. That's right. No tip for you. Robert Brent at Traveling with Bruce. The line could avoid these who belongs where there's a simple sticker on the ID. Yeah. The line could avoid these issues where people belong with just a simple sticker on the ID card. You're right, Silo. There are simple solutions to this issue. Simple. Easy solutions, but oh my gosh. Salo Steve, I am an in-your-face kind of guy, he says. He better be on his best. I'm going to ride him like a sweaty pack mule. Oh, go for it. I hardly ask for crap when in the Haven. I don't ask for crap. This time, I will be Thurston Howell the third. Right on. Oh, yes, absolutely. Thurston Howell the third. Everyone's laughing out loud. They're loving it. Silo, your cabin card is clearly marked Haven, by the way. Tracy Dunlap, Silo Steve, I hope you run him ragged with special requests. I was just going to say, as far as the two go, Cruising with Wheels, it would have been nice had the folks in the Haven check-in area on their card put up some kind of, had a stamp that had said something like Haven accessible or Haven access or something, but maybe they just, never thought of it. I don't know. And the same thing with the cabin cards for the aft suites. Are they a different color than the Haven cards upstairs for the room cards? I don't know. Seakeeper, 25 days to the Norwegian getaway, but I will go back to Royal Caribbean after the one cruise is over. Come to think of it, I prefer Royal Caribbean anyway. Slightly more expensive, but I will find a way to overcome that difficulty. Tom Henry, did the other couple from the aft suites ever complain? Good question. I don't know. Robert Brandt at Salo Steve. Yes, if you're in a Haven room, but they could have a sticker like they do for spas on some of the other lines. Yeah, Robert Brandt saying access granted, etc. Yes, Steamy Bean. What is odd is that Kevin and Frank were treated like crap by cult cruisers. That's right. There are people out there who've seen their story on Facebook and they're just giving it to these two guys, calling them the problem. They think that they're the problem, that they're too pretentious or they're too outlandish or they're too outgoing, or I don't believe I don't buy that. Cruising is a service business, and if you're the concierge, you're supposed to be the king of service. You're supposed to be the granter of wishes. You are supposed to be the dream maker. You are the one who makes dreams come true. That's why you're there. Somehow you got up there. Somehow you got up to that level because you've shown yet again and again and again that you can handle any kind of personality, any kind of situation, and make it right. And speaking of that, here's someone who loves to just pop in on us. And what can I say? Here he is. Thank God he licks himself, because if he didn't, that would be awful. But yeah, kind of feel like talking about aft. There's the aft right there. You all right there, buddy? You gonna sit in my notes so I can't read them anymore? Yeah, okay. Anyway, there you go. We'll see what happens. What happens here? Takes all kinds. Seakeeper says, Paul Willis, a steamy bean. I agree. Some of what was said to them was beyond belief. Seakeeper, maybe some people out there will put up with being treated like crap. I wouldn't. There you go. Tom Henry. I was reading some of the Facebook comments to Cruising with Wheels and think one hit it on the nail that the public relations lady was reprimanded for giving them the perks in the first place. And maybe that's what happened. Maybe at the end of the day, the promotions department got crap for being so nice to these guys. After all, they're just a couple of vloggers. They have a YouTube channel. They're a couple of nothings. Why are you bending over backwards for these guys? What the hell's that? I don't know. Maybe that's what happened. That's a total misdirection by Norwegian if that's what they're doing. But I don't know. It's not like I'm saying a YouTuber should be treated like gold. No, I don't think so. If I've got like right now 2,500 subscribers, I'm expecting nothing. Now, if I come on board a ship and I bring a meet and greet cruise with me, and I've got 200 of you guys coming, yeah, I'm kind of expecting 200 of us to be treated all right. I would think that as the coordinator or the initiator of the group, that the cruise line would reach out to me and say, hey, Bruce, what can we do for you? We love the fact that you brought us 200 paying customers. Is there anything you need while you're on board with that crazy gang of yours? That would be, I would expect that. I wouldn't expect a guy like this, though. I'll tell you that. Oh, my goodness. Sylvia, did you hear the part where they wanted them to take down the video? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sylvia, we're all laughing about that. Steamer, they were bullied by cruisers. It's unbelievable. Chevy First. Hey, y'all. Rainy day here today in Georgia. Hi, Chevy and First. Welcome, Silo Steve. I made a complaint about my crappy butler on the Jade back in November, December. Got a $400 onboard credit. Surprised they got nothing but a kick in the ass. That's all they're getting. They're getting absolutely nothing. It's bad. Tom Henry, you use the word you can't use on YouTube, and that's why your comment didn't show, just so you know. But it's okay. I know you mean well. Robert Brandt, when no one resolves the issue, then it does become a problem with the line. And there you go. I agree. And Jordan, what's that? And Jordan, no, it's Sylvia. I couldn't believe it. And Jordan couldn't believe that they wanted to take that video down too. Let's see here. Steamer saying that it does. It becomes a line problem. Rob Souter, my response to Norwegian would be have sex and travel. Robert Brandt, the need to give Cruising with Wheels an apology and a free cruise, or they need. Well, again, the two of them have insisted we don't want money. We don't want compensation. That's not what we're here for. We're not interested in that. We had a great cruise. We enjoyed the ship. The rest of the staff, fantastic. The hotel director, fantastic. The assistant hotel director, the cruise director, we had a wonderful time. Passengers, fellow passengers, we all had a great time. We didn't want money. We just wanted an apology, and we wanted to know that this could never happen again. But not happening, not happening. What are you going to do? And Jordan, I agree, the Steamy Bean. Steamy Bean, when you spoke about the sun, lots of cruisers acted blind and supported Norwegian cultish. Yep, I lost subscribers. I lost subscribers during my sun rant, but I gained a lot. I gained a lot of Sun subscribers who were on that ship. They found me as someone talking about it, and a bunch of them joined the channel. I think some of them are right here. I just decided to call it as I saw it, and what I saw was not good, and what I'm seeing here, not good either. D&G, it's a huge PR issue that could grow on something if they could quickly been resolved with an apology. I agree. And Jordan, I agree with D&G. Apology is all they wanted. Paul Willigas, Norwegian is also is reviewing how they handle bloggers, YouTubers, etc. How much you want to bet they'll pull the perks, especially from these guys? I bet you it's coming. I bet you that the top guns are saying enough of this crap, where these so-called entitled YouTubers think they're God's gift to this green earth of ours. Don't give them any special perks. Make them pay full price and treat them just like any other passenger. And forget the royalty stuff, because this is the thanks we get. We give them all this nice stuff, and then they treat us like this. Well, guys, they didn't start it. They were accosted. And the real big one was when they were leaving the ship. The thing they complained about the most was when they were getting off the ship at the end of the cruise, they were being escorted off the ship by two Haven staff members again, one pushing the wheelchair, the other one helping with the bags. They brought them down through special elevators to a special debarkation center. And who was at the ramp? The last guy you would see on the ship before you got off? The Nazi. He was there with his little clipboard, and he recognized these two, and he started lighting into them. He lit into these guys while they were standing in line, waiting to get to the checkout machine there where the staff member would swipe the card one last time. That 2-minute moment, he lit into them, and he came up to, who he came up to, not Frank, but Kevin, and they felt physically threatened by this guy. There were witnesses everywhere, staff, cruisers, Haven cruisers, they all saw it. Nothing from the cruise line, absolutely nothing. Just defies logic to me, just defies logic. Let's see here. Yeah, Tom Henry, Paul Lucas, that was my thought too, that they might be cutting back. Robert Brandt, Cruising with Wheels, needs to do a video why they won't travel with NCL and again. Of course, they're platinum members. They've done zillions of cruises. They love the line. They just don't care for this guy. And Jordan, did not know if the other couple complained. Yeah, I do not know either. D&G, it was a very generic reply, but also hinted of warnings for their future benefits and consequences. Yeah, keep it up and we won't welcome you. That could have been it. Tom Henry, I suggested to them to try to fill their group cruise in the next 2 weeks, then pull the entire group to another cruise line. Robert Brandt, the haters are using, as always, a different reason to hate that what they are really thinking, and they just need to get over two men traveling together. It's 2018. Good point, Robert. Steaming Bean, Adrian probably drinks caffeine-free diet sodas. He needs to wake up. Or maybe he drinks too much caffeine drinks and he's too hyped up. I don't know. Steamer, some of these cruisers are loyal to a fault. Silo, I had a hotel background for a number of years. Four Seasons Hotel de Coronado, you always said yes. Yeah, I can imagine. I was in the retail business. And you made it right. You made it right. I owned my store, and I made it right in every way I could. Steaming Bean Silo in San Diego. Robert Brandt, I've dealt with all the lines for 30 years, and NCL used to be very, very good. But in recent years, well, they don't understand the net 60 on the bills. The net 60 it's payable in 60 days. And yeah, that's a sign, Robert. Silo, yes, Coronado. Spelled it wrong, but he was in the Coronado. Suzanne Jones, hi, Suzanne. Staring at the blank page before you open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Staring at the blank page before you open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the word. Deep thoughts, Susan, above my head here. Not quite sure what you're saying, but welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. Rob Sutter, they give tens of thousands of good free publicity to Norwegian. Oh, do they ever, Rob? I mean, you go back, look at the videos they've made of their Norwegian cruises and their experiences. I mean, talk about free advertising. Oh my God. For every dollar they've spent of their own money to go on these cruises, they've probably given $100 for every dollar they've ever spent on top of that in free positive promotion. I'm, sometimes some people just don't understand what a gift horse looks like. And I don't know. I don't understand it. Steamer, I was at that hotel back in '84, a lovely place, the Coronado. Seakeeper, Cruising with Wheels don't want a free cruise, bless their heart. Once bitten by a snake, one worries about a battery cable lying in the grass. I know from snakes in Florida. Silo, yep, maybe Norwegian will say they have to have 20,000 or 50,000 subscribers to be considered media. You never know. Tom Henry, did you watch the Tale of the High Seas about the concierge last year? That was when they got the press perks the first time, and they seemed very humble about the surprise. Tom, I haven't seen it, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's exactly how they work. D&G Explorers, were there any negative comments on their YouTube page or just Facebook, Twitter? D&G, I don't know. Honestly, I haven't looked. If any of you know, let me know. Jean is here. Jean in Philippines, cloudy and rain and 85. Hi, Jean Reda from Philippines. How are you? Welcome to my broadcast. Nice to have you here. Tracy Dunlop. The thing is that Cruising with Wheels has always promoted Norwegian above all others. And that is what they get. Really unacceptable. Robert Brandt at Tracy Dunlop, and that's really it. They need to really stop giving Norwegian the money, the good stuff. I agree. Jean Retta, work, restaurant, customer, always right. Always right if they are wrong. Customer's always right. Robert Brandt at Traveling with Bruce. This just in from Washington. It's fake news. There you go. Well, there's another little story for you. Now, another topic today, Alaska Airlines. I don't know if you folks have seen this story. I caught it this morning too. Two gentlemen were flying from New York, JFK, to Los Angeles on Alaska. I believe it was a nonstop flight. They boarded the plane. They had premium seating. They were in the higher cost seating, probably premium economy, I guess, something like that. They checked in, they got on the plane, they sat down, and passengers are coming on. When an air hostess, a flight attendant, as we call them now, a flight attendant approached one of the two men and asked, actually mentioned that she has a heterosexual couple, a guy and a girl, who would like to sit together. Would he please move from this seat to a seat back in economy, in coach? And the two gentlemen looked up together at her and said, "We're a couple. We're traveling together as a couple." And she said, "Well, I'm sorry. You." And she only pointed at the one. "You either move to a couch economy seat, or you'll have to leave the plane." Decision had been made. This wasn't a request. This was a demand. Now, I'm trying to figure it out that perhaps there were 3 seats in a row and that they took up 2 of the 3 seats and there was another person in the other seat. Man or woman, I don't know. I've never heard it. And for whatever reason, the flight attendant just thought that there were 2 guys here. Going to get one guy out of there, and maybe the other seat is open. I don't know. And now I can put 2 people together, a guy and a girl together as a couple, and we'll have one guy over here, a guy and a girl over here, and this other guy can go in the back, not realizing they're a couple. I'm shocked that they'd have the balls to ask someone to move from premium economy to economy. That's what got me pissed off at the beginning. I was just upset at that because the cost of that seat would have been $300-400 more each way. What do you mean go to economy? I paid for this seat. You send them back to economy to sit with each other. Anyway, the 2 of them got up and left together. They weren't going to take this nonsense. They got up and walked, and they posted this on Facebook, and it went big time. It went big time. They then went to United, and United Airlines promptly took care of them. They got them on a flight right away, treated them royally, and they publicly thanked United for their excellent customer service and understanding, because they told United what happened. They told them what happened to them on the Alaska flight. They probably showed them their boarding passes. We just got kicked off, or this guy has been threatened to be kicked off to go to economy because they want to sit this couple. Well, United just stepped up big time because United needs all the public PR they can get. United was I guess United Airlines was the Norwegian Cruise Lines of the airline business. When they, remember, kicked that guy off the plane who didn't want to get off the plane, and they broke his nose and dragged him out with blood streaming down his face. United needs all the help they can get. Well, they took care of him. So now they posted it, and it just went crazy. This story has gone everywhere, especially in print. Apparently, Alaska has reached out to the couple and have apologized and have stated that this is not policy. This is against policy. They were not happy at head office when they found this out, and they have sworn up and down this will never happen to anyone ever again. This is not the way we treat our clientele. We respect people's rights to travel together. man and woman and man and man and woman and woman. And they apologized, and the apology has been accepted by the couple. A full refund was provided by Alaska for the fare, everything else. I do not know any other compensation was offered or accepted. I don't know anything about it. I just know that that's as far as I read the story today. That Alaska came right back, and I guess it only took a couple of days. They came right back and said, "Oh no, we were in the wrong. We were wrong. This is not going to happen. Our staff will be made imminently clear of what's going on here. This is not to be tolerated ever, no matter what the circumstances." So that was the story. I was kind of curious if any of you saw it. Did any of you have a comment on it? We'll just kind of go from there. Looking at a few messages here. Silo, the YouTube page seemed 100% positive. Paul Wilgus, Laugh Out Loud Robert. These are still comments from before. Robert Grant, Paul Wilgus, I'm trying to be good, but this is as good as it gets. Seakeeper or fake news, dare we say alternative facts? And let's see here. Robert Grant, they need to stop overbooking those planes. And Paul Wilgus, they told the flight attendant they were a couple too. That's right, Steamy Bean. And that flight attendant is related to a Haven concierge. Maybe she's got a brother named Adrian, and maybe there's something running in the family here. It was really surprising to me. Really surprising. Again, I can't understand it. I forget the fact that it was two men traveling together. I come back to the fact that they were in premium seating. I come back to like this one basic thing. These guys paid a lot of money for those two seats. And the flight attendant would just say to the guy, sit in coach or get off. What? What are you talking about? Can you imagine Emirates going to a business class passenger and saying, yeah, we got two people who want to sit together. You take your little stuff and go back to economy back here. That $3,000 you paid for that business class seat, it doesn't matter to me. Now, on Alaska, they didn't pay $3,000 for the seat, but across USA, nonstop flight, premium seating, what would that run? The economy seat would be what, $300, $250? The premium seat would be $500, $600, $700 each way. They paid extra. They probably paid double. And you get kicked into coach because she wants to put two people. What the hell is that? Makes no sense to me. Where did that couple come from? Were they not in the same section of the plane that they were in? Again, premium economy. Why wouldn't she just have them move to where one of the two couples were sitting? She brought them from coach, probably. She probably brought a guy and a girl from coach up to premium economy and decided to move a premium economy passenger back to coach at her discretion. That's what's got me all riled up. This other side of it is just fuel on the fire that just made it go viral, and it's wrong. But oh my gosh, what the hell's going on out there? I don't understand it. Let's see here. Jordan's giving me thumbs up. Let's see. No way, Desi. No way I'm moving from premium, and I get pushed to economy. No way. There's no way I'm doing that. Robert Brandt, Emirates would be way more than 3,000. I'm talking each way. Business class, New York to Dubai. It's about $6,000 round trip. Paul Wilgus at Desi Wagner. Me either. I wouldn't be moving. D&G. This is the first I've heard of Alaskan Airlines. What a joke. Hope this doesn't happen to me. Well, I say this is on Facebook. It was in the I think I read the New York Times. Read it on a number of spots. Shocking, just ridiculous. All right, last piece of news I have today. And Jordan's asking, I've never flown on Alaskan. Are they any good? Does it usually happen on Alaskan? I've never had issues personally on Alaskan. I've flown on Alaskan, but I've never heard of this kind of thing happen anywhere. I don't know of a passenger being forced to go to coach or get off a plane from premium economy because they want to accommodate another guy. Another guy or a girl. This is beyond me. The other news today was, it's just a minor little thing, but apparently the Royal Caribbean announced today or announced the other day, if you buy their premium drink package, their alcohol package, which has the pop, soda, and premium coffees, you can now get a milkshake at Johnny Rockets included in your drink card. And the other side of it, though, is if you only have the soda fountain card, the so-called refreshment card, they call it, the refreshment drink package, which allows you to get soda, you cannot get a free milkshake at Johnny Rockets. That's not included. You have to have the premium booze card to be able to get free milkshakes at Johnny Rockets. And that came out the other day, and I caught that. I thought I'll mention it to the gang in case any of you are fans of Royal Caribbean. I know some of you are, and we'll see what happens. Steamer's thinking here, I thought Alaskan had a good reputation. Generally, they do. They fly newer planes. The newest, one of the newest fleets of aircraft in the USA. Less than 7-8 years old. I was just mentioning that a week or two ago. Robert Brandt, I guess the point here is the fact that they screwed up and tried to make amends. Well, that's the good news for Alaskan. They did try to. They have reached out. Tom Henry, laugh out loud. Rob Souter, number 2 to them. Great line. Paul Wilgus, the Steaming Bean. They do, and very good reputation. Also with the gay community, apparently. Seakeeper, those are good milkshakes at Johnny Rockets. I think they are too. And Jordan, love the milkshakes at Johnny Rockets. Yummo. Wendy Thompson. Pan was back. He was, but now he's now with Eddie, and they're being affectionate to each other. They're imitating. I won't go there. They're over there. Barb, I thought the food and drinks are included when you book the cruise. Barb, drinks and food are included to a point when you book a cruise now. Depends what cruise line you're booking, and it depends what class of room you're booking on a cruise ship. Okay, in the 50s and 60s and before, if you were crossing the ocean as a cruise liner passenger and you were a first class passenger, it would have been practically all inclusive. In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, everything was included except alcohol and cigarettes. Nowadays, if you're a balcony passenger inside Ocean View, like a regular balcony passenger, your meals are provided for you in a lot of different venues, like the buffet, the main dining room, the pizzas and the hot dogs on the pool deck, maybe a seafood restaurant here or a little deli. But they do have now specialty restaurants on cruise ships that you pay extra for. And then drinks are extra as far as alcohol goes, and soda. Soda is extra. They started doing that back in about the 80s. They realized, heck, we can bring a can of pop on board here for, like in today's currency, we can bring a can of cola on board for $0.25 and charge $2.85 with tip for a can of pop. Why are we giving this stuff away? And so they're doing that. But iced tea, coffee, milk, in most cases, iced tea, it's no extra charge. If, however, you're in the Haven where our friend Adrian hangs out, or you're in the yacht club on MSC, or the suites on Princess, you're in the high-end part of town, all your food up there is included at all those specialty restaurants. So there'll be a special restaurant upstairs that only you and your gang can go to from the Haven. But you may still pay extra for alcohol. That might still be an extra charge. Where the cruise lines have figured out they can offer an all-in-one card for all drinks for a set surcharge per day. And that's what's happening on most popular cruise lines, where people are buying drink cards that might cover specialty coffees and soda, or just specialty coffees, or just soda, and or basic alcohol and premium coffee, or premium coffee, sodas, milkshakes, premium drinks, all included in the card for perhaps $60, $80, $90 a day per person for the cruise. Remember, cruise lines make a fortune on alcohol. It probably brings in more profits to the cruise than the price you're paying for your room. So by the time you take all the costs off the top of running a cruise ship from the costs of what they're charging you for your room, the profit is in the booze and the pop and the specialty coffees and so on. If you, however, you go on Viking Ocean Cruise Lines or Viking River Cruises, wine and beer and spirits are served with lunch and dinner, no extra charge as part of your cruise. And specialty coffees are always free and provided at no extra charge on these types of vessels. But we're talking about a 6-star cruise line, not the mainline cruise lines like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Celebrity, Princess, Holland America, these guys. Okay. I hope that helped. Hope that didn't bore everybody. Silo, always fly Alaskan, he said. Never a problem. This is a strange one. Again, one bad employee with an attitude. I tell you, Silo, that was a shocker too. The steamer. When I lived in Kuwait, I frequented Johnny Rockets and had a milkshake with a slice of apple pie blended in. Yum. Steamer, you take too many of those, forget the biscuits. Let me tell you, you're putting it on there. But, oh, that sounds pretty darn good, I got to say. Rob Sutter, Tom Henry, thanks. Did you catch the other zinger? Paul Wilgus, that sounds good, Bean. Robert Brandt, someone has to make money on the booze, laugh out loud. That's right, Robert. Someone's got to make money. Paul Wilgus said Robert Brandt is coming from the one that makes it laughing out loud. Robert Brandt, 30% of bottom line is booze. 30% of the bottom line is from booze. They make a serious amount of money. Seakeeper, gotta go. See y'all tomorrow. Thank you, buddy. Barb, so you should bring your drinks and alcohol on board with you. Barb, some cruise lines allow you to bring a bottle of wine per adult. None of them allow you to bring your own bottle of booze. That'll be confiscated right off the get-go. Govern yourself accordingly on the cruise ship. Keep in mind, if you're on a Caribbean cruise and you've got 3 or 4 days where you're off the ship because you're visiting different ports, drink on those days. Head to the bar in San Juan and get $2 beers and deals on alcohol, or in St. Thomas, go to the local liquor store, buy your own bottle of booze, buy some pop at the corner store, and a couple of plastic cups, and enjoy yourself on the beach. Maybe you can do that. I'm not sure if Robert Brandt says that's allowable, but Robert being in St. Thomas. So watch yourself there. D&G, have a good day, Seakeeper. Tom Henry, no, at Rob Sutter, he's responding to. And Jordan, see you at Seakeeper. Have an awesome day. Seakeeper's packing it in. Bye, Seakeeper, from Tom Henry. Yeah, so alcohol is a big factor to the bottom line of cruise ships. And of course, on a hot cruise in the Caribbean, and you don't have to drive your car, you don't have to worry about getting back to your room if you had 1 or 2 too many. Let loose and enjoy yourself, but get ready. The cruise lines are charging up to $8, $10, $12 a drink, depending on how complicated the drink is. And as Robert Brandt is saying to us, if the cruise line can buy a bottle of booze for $7 and 1 drink pays for the bottle, the remaining, whatever, 20 odd drinks that the booze line can prepare, $8 a shot, that's all net to them after the cost of the booze. Now they can tackle the cost of their employees, the cost of the overheads, and there's profits everywhere. That's how cruise lines make money. Of course, resort hotels in Hawaii and in Florida and elsewhere, they do the same thing. They make their money from alcohol if they're not inclusive. That's how they make their money as well, obviously. Let's see here. Robert Brandt, and I like the buying booze and going to the beach. He likes that idea. It's allowable. You can do that. Robert Brandt, Barb says, thanks. You're welcome, Barb. Robert Brandt, you can buy a bottle for the cost of the drink. There you go. Tom Henry, I'm scratching my head over which word was a problem. I assumed it was gay, but that made it in another post. Confused here. Tom, now I'm confused because I thought that was it too. Sorry, Tom, I don't know. And I know you mean well, but for whatever reason, the system just stopped. It wouldn't let the word through, or with the whole expression come through. So I'm lost. I don't understand it, Tom. But your point is well taken. Rob Sutter, line up soup Nancy on top and Norwegian cruise line below. Unfortunately, Norwegian's got issues. This is one of them. The Norwegian Sun happened to be an issue. That was a big deal a few months ago. Unsuccessfully resolved, I think, with a lot of those people. I think a lot of those people are still not happy with how it came out. What are you going to do? Norwegian, luckily for them, in this environment of a very good cruise business, they're making a lot of money. Their ships are pretty full. They are able to book their cruises at pretty good prices. They seem to be able to attract capital from Wall Street to keep building new ships and refurbish old ones. But it's not all peachy. They are in a situation where they are spending $50 million, that's $50 million, to retrofit or refurbish the Norwegian Joy, because it is going to be transformed from a China cruise liner to a North American cruise liner in March of next year in dry dock, and then we'll arrive in Seattle to take people to Alaska and then work out of Los Angeles. That's a $50 million cost they were not anticipating that they were going to run into, and it hit them square in the face this year. They had to pull the pin on that ship, almost $1 billion vessel. I have a suspicion that that vessel was not running full. In China, I suspect they might have been losing millions a week because it wasn't running at maximum capacity. And maybe the entire cost to Norwegian is over 100 million. By the time this ship has been pulled out of there, they're now going to try to make it back by selling cruises to Alaska. Problem is, 9 months they have to fill the ship up with cruisers for the Alaska cruises. And right now, if you're paying attention, I know a lot of you are, you can get a cruise on a lot of the Norwegian cruise line ships where they're only asking you for a $25 deposit, and they're offering you all kinds of perks if you take a certain class of room with cruise credits on top of it already. So taking a balcony room on some of these cruise ships that Norwegian has with these perks they're adding on, drink package being one of them, I believe, there's some deals there. And this is in a so-called hot cruise market where they're building them like crazy. 113 ships coming between now and 2027. A 250,000 more berths coming online, and Norwegian is giving away deals today to fill up ships. The Joy will be an interesting ship to watch the next 6 months to see how bookings go and how prices hold up. So there you go. There's some interesting thoughts there. Robert Brandt, customer service is so important. You can have 9 great cruises and 1 bad one, and guess which one gets talked about? Exactly. You get a bad meal in a restaurant, you'll tell your friends. You'll tell 20 of your friends about that bad meal. Absolutely. And your friends will tell friends. This is how it works. Paul Wilgus, NCL should take heed. They are soon going to be number 4. They are. They're going to be passed in capacity and by numbers of ships by MSC. MSC cruise lines, they're not perfect, but they are growing quickly and are very popular in Europe, and they are moving into North America in a huge way. They will not give up on North America. I think I have another guest on the edge here. How are you doing there, buddy? Are you looking to make a cameo appearance here, or are you just happy to see me? What's the point here? What's the deal here? We may have Eddie coming by for a little hi. How are you? I'm not sure. Eddie is looking back and seeing Pan asleep on the couch. Pan's exhausted. He was acting today. He was on the air 3 times. He's pooped. He's getting a nap right now. He can't handle the bright lights and the fame, But Eddie here is kind of looking to see what the deal is. Now Eddie's going behind the computer, and he's coming up this side here. He's sniffing. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, watch out, Norwegian. Competition is coming your way. Rob Souter, it would be nice if the cruise line would provide a diet iced tea or lemonade as part of the included drinks. Well, yeah, some lines might, some definitely not. Yeah, this is an area that I think is shifting. Another area that's shifting now is a lot of us have been talking about this more and more. This is coming up more and more. Parts of the ship like the Haven and the Yacht Club, these exclusive decks on the top of cruise ships. The major cruise lines have figured out to compete with the boutique cruise lines like Silver Sea and Seabourn and Pona. These are vessels they look like exotic yachts, yachts on steroids. They hold 200 to 400 passengers at the most. They figured out, well, why don't we just create room for 200, 300, 400 people on the very top of the ship here with their own little pool and their own little bar, and we'll give them a specialty restaurant, and we'll treat them like royalty. We'll have butlers up there, we'll have concierge up there, and we'll give them all kinds of perks like easy embarkation, easy debarkation, preferred seating in the shows, all this stuff, because they're paying 4 times the money. We'll put them in balcony units that are half again as big as these other units in some cases. Owner suites, of course, are up there too. But you know what? We can get 4 to 5 times the amount of money from these people that we can get from the guys like Bruce here, who are just grabbing a regular balcony room. And so they're figuring out, with only 5% of all the passengers on board the ship, they're getting 30% of the revenue from only 5% of the people. The rest of us are not allowed up there and can't mix in that crowd. All these cruise lines are doing it. So when a ship goes in for refurbishment, for example, right now, Princess, they're making a big to-do about this. Princess are adding sky suites to their Princess cruise ships, and new ships coming out like the Celebrity Edge high-end suites, new cruise ships from Royal Caribbean, the suites, all of these high-end units with high-end service, high-end everything, but at 4, 5, 6 times the money is what's happening. And this is a relatively last 7, 8 years or so phenomena that is catching on big time. In other words, I call it segregation of cruise ships, where they are going back to the old days. There used to be the uber wealthy, the well-to-do, and steerage. And it wouldn't surprise me if cruise ships in the next 5 to 10 years may have 3 classes of cabins. They may well be 3 areas where passengers can and cannot go, just like the airlines. They're going with first class, business class, premium economy, economy, and steerage economy. Maybe this is going to happen on cruise ships because the cruise lines are looking for ways to enhance revenue and maximize it. And how can we get ships to make way more money than they're making? Or how can we give less for more? How can we play that game? So we'll do both. We'll do the all-inclusive everything game with these top enders, but we'll take stuff away from you game unless you pay extra to get it back. And we'll see how far we can play this angle. And these lines are in competition with each other. And 113 more ships are coming. We'll have to see how this plays itself out. Anyway, there you go. Let's see here what's going on here. No, Paul Wilkes saying we still haven't seen Stinky. Mr. Stinky, that's right. Mr. Stinky naps this time of day, and he likes to hide away during the daytime and just not be disturbed. He's a nighter. And Jordan, have a safe flight. D&G Explorers, safe travels. Robert Brandt, thumbs up. D&G Explorers, thanks. And almost time. Sneaky Snake saying salutations. Hello, Sneaky Snake. Robert Brandt, some of those suites get free alcohol and specialty services like a butler. Robert Brandt, a piano, because we all need a piano in our suite, of course. Paul Wilkes, I just want the extra space a piano takes up. And Robert's going, yeah, you're right. Get that piano out of here and give me the room. Put a recliner in there with the massage features, one of those big recliners, and I'll just use that. Thank you very much. Tom Henry, Bruce, get overtime for today. We're running up to 7 o'clock Eastern. I better get ready to shut her down. 2-hour show. 2090 is still here. Unbelievable. Long staying power, you guys, today. Well, there you have it. That's Wednesday's show. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'll be doing 2 shows tomorrow night. Trivia at 8 o'clock. The regular show at 5. Looking forward to that from Calgary. See what trivia I can put together for you tonight. Robert Brandt, he has to split the money with Pan. Yes, the royalties with Pan. Eddie has gone back to the couch. He's checking Pan out, wondering, is he dead? Or is he just asleep? Pan is out like a light. Let's see. And Jordan, thumbs ups and all kinds of happy signals and symbols. Thank you so much. Well, folks, I hope you had a good show today. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about the beginning of the show with the technical difficulties. We're just going to have to tolerate it this week. I doubt it's my computer, but then again, I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal is. There's something there's a glitch here somewhere, but the connection seems very good, very clear picture, and I'm very happy about that. I hope you're getting a good, solid signal here. How are my thumbs ups looking today? Let's see how we did here. 25 thumbs ups today, 3 thumbs downs. Kind of an average day on the up and down meter. And I thank you for all the reactions to the show, good or bad. It's momentum for the channel. If any of you can spare a thumbs up before you pack it in, thank you very much. I'll take that. Thank you for joining me. If anyone else has anything to ask, I'm more than happy to attempt to answer it, but I think we've covered a lot of subjects. I look forward to tomorrow's 2 shows, and we're only 20 subscribers away from 2,500. 2,480 subscribers. How about that? It wouldn't be surprising between now and when I leave town, or early when I get back next week, we might make it hit 2,500 before my first birthday hits on this channel. And Jordan, great show. Bruce, as always, awesome. Trivia a go, awesome. Buys, all have a great day. Tom Henry, nice emojis. And yes, you're sending us a ton of emojis. Thank you guys for your support of my channel. Thank you for picking up this kind of merchandise from Traveling with Bruce. Thank you for my Amazon affiliate page. Some of you are finding that. Got another couple of pennies in yesterday. And thank you for the absolute out-and-out direct donations to PayPal. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thanks you very much. It's our anniversary, and we thank you for all the best wishes. And tomorrow we start our first day of our 43rd year together. Oh my God. Wahoo! I'm going to take the car in for tire rotation. Yippee! I know how to have a good time tonight. And I'll see you all tomorrow at 5 o'clock for the first of 2 shows. Everyone is saying their goodbyes. Tom Henry, DNG, Nina saying, don't forget the thumbs ups. Rob Sauter, better watch out. They may lock us up in the bilge if you're a regular passenger. Yeah, that's true, Rob. And saying goodnight. Paul is saying take care, everybody. 28 thumbs ups. They're coming in. Thank you all. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. This is Bruce with Traveling with Bruce saying thanks for joining me on August the 1st, 2018. We'll see you tomorrow, August the 2nd. You take it easy. Catch you later. Bye for now.